Hello students, today in this class we are going to see how the accounting treatment is done for forfeiture and reissue of shares. So first let us see forfeiture of shares. So what is meant by forfeiture? Forfeiture just means cancellation of shares. So whenever the shareholders who are holding shares of a particular company, they are not in a position to pay the call money, then such shares will be forfeited or cancelled because the company is in, the company cannot raise funds from these shareholders who have made a default. No, so it is better to cancel their shares. So what will happen to the cancelled shares? That is, in the case of cancelled shares, suppose if a shareholder has paid only 2 rupees per share, then that 2 rupees, when the shares are cancelled, that need not be refunded to the that particular shareholder. That can be taken by the company. So let us come back. That is, the forfeiture of shares means cancellation of shares. Okay. And it happens when the shareholders are unable to pay the money which is due on allotment or calls on the due date. So they are, in spite of the frequent reminders to the shareholders, they are unable to make the payment. So such shares will be cancelled. So before the shares are cancelled, the forfeiting company, it should give clear 14 days notice to the defaulting shareholder, stating that their shares are going to get cancelled, and that's a chance for them to make the payment. And this can be done. The forfeiture of shares can be done only if the Articles of Association permits the company. So if the Articles of Association is permitting forfeiture only, it can be forfeited. And when the shares are forfeited, the name is removed from the register of members. So that particular person's name is removed, and later these shares can be reissued. And as we have already discussed, the amount already received by the company is not refunded. That need not be given back by the company. That can be taken by the company. So let us see. So all the accounting treatment is more important rather than all these formalities. So the forfeited shares, how that happens, that particular decision will be taken in the director board meeting, and after approval, the company will be forfeiting the shares. You can see in the diagram. And we have already seen that it should be powered by the Articles of Association, and proper notice period should be given. And after getting the resolution by the board of directors, these shares are forfeited. Okay. Now, what is the accounting treatment for forfeiture? So the accounting treatment differs according to the case of issue of shares. If the shares were originally issued at par, then the treatment is like this. And if it is issued at premium, that we'll see later. Like if the shares are issued at par, what is the treatment? So this is a journal entry. That is, the share capital account will be debited. So you might be remembering in all of the cases of share issue, if it's a case of share issue, the share capital account will be credited, no? But when the shares are cancelled, the opposite should happen. That means the share capital will be debited. So what all amount is due? The due amount, the total amount due till now will be cancelled. Okay. So the number of shares forfeited into called up amount per share. So called up amount is the due amount, no? So the number of shares cancelled into called up amount per share. So suppose if for rupees 10 share, if only 8 rupees is called up, and this particular shareholder has paid only 4 rupees. So the amount that will show here will be how much? 8 only, because the balance 2 rupees is still pending. That is, that call is not yet made. So only the called up amount will be written here. And to share first call account, that is the calls in arrears. Okay, so if you have opened a calls in arrears account, then you can credit calls in arrears also. Otherwise, the respective calls will be credited here. That is the payment which the shareholder hasn't made. That amount, if he has not paid the first call amount, then that should be cancelled here. Okay, if he hasn't made the final call amount, that will be cancelled. So depending upon the situation, you have to cancel all those stage monies which are not yet collected by the banker but which is due. And this forfeited shares account, this forfeited shares account means the amount already received from this particular shareholder. So this is a defaulting shareholder but it doesn't mean that the whole amount will be on default. So the amount that the company has received will be taken as forfeited shares account. So out of the total amount called up, for the amounts that the shareholder hasn't made the payment, you will cancel the respective money, and the amount already received from him, that a number into already amount received will be multiplied, and that will be shown as the forfeited shares account. Okay. And second case, the forfeiture of shares issued at a premium, like when premium money has been received. So if the premium money may be collected along with application or with allotment, no? And if the shareholder has already paid that, then there is no problem. So you will consider such a case just like shares issued at par. That is the previous situation, no? Just like that, if shares are issued at par, just like that you can deal with the shares issued at premium, but the premium money received. But for those shares for which the premium money is there, the securities premium is there, but that premium money is in default. That is, suppose it may be collected along with, the allotment money, and the shareholder hasn't paid the allotment money. So it is in default. The money has not been received. So the treatment is different. But anyway, in the journal entry, you will cancel the share capital as we have done in the previous case also. That is share capital account, the same way. And one more thing you have to debit it, which is the securities premium reserve account. Because at the time of making it due, that is, suppose if it is made due at the time of allotment, you remember what is the entry for that? That is, securities premium reserve will be credited, no, along with share capital. But here, so the entry will be, suppose if it's collected with allotment, share allotment account added to share capital to securities premium reserve. That was the entry. But when this particular person has made, or it's not all of the shareholders, but only few of them. So only that amount pertaining to those shareholders who have made default, their securities premium reserve should be cancelled, because that is not received by us, no? So along with cancelling share capital, you have to cancel the securities premium reserve also. That is the only change here. The rest, all the accounting treatments are the same. It is just like issue of shares at par. But here you have to cancel the securities premium reserve also, and then cancel the amounts which are not yet received. Just like in the previous case, allotment money which is not received, share first call account, share final call account if it's not received, and the forfeited shares account with the amount already received. Okay. So that's all. So let us break this as forfeiture and reissue. That's all related with forfeiture. Now reissue. What happens at the time of reissue? That is, the forfeited shares that can be reissued. Like those cancelled shares should be reissued only then the company will have money, So otherwise that it will just remain cancelled. So you have two options. That is, they can dispose of the shares. That is, usually that will be issued at a discount. Okay, so that is going to be reissued to some other person. And reissue can be at par, at premium, or at discount. So reissue of shares can be at discount, at par, or premium. And let us see how the accounting treatment is. So what is the requirement as per the Companies Act? That is, the forfeited shares are generally issued at a price lesser than their face value. So usually it will be issued at an offer price. Okay, and the resolution sanctioning the reissue should be there, because just like any other important decision of the company, this has to be passed in the board meeting, and the forfeited shares are to be transferred in the name of the buyer, the new buyer, in his name you have to transfer these shares, and his name will be entered in the register of members, and a public notice in newspapers should be given, that is, these shares have been forfeited due to non-payment of calls. Now, what are the journal entries? So here you won't be having different stages and all. In one go, you can issue the shares, because these shares are cancelled shares and it is getting reissued. So when forfeited shares are reissued at par, it's quite simple. The whole amount will be received through bank, And you don't have to show it as allotment, application, calls and all. Instead, you will just show it as to share capital account. So if shares of rupees 10 is issued at rupees 10 itself, that means at par, bank account debtor to share capital account. Okay. But if the forfeited shares are reissued at a premium, then along with share capital, you will be collecting the securities premium reserve also, just like the ordinary issue of shares, usual case. And if forfeited shares are issued at a discount, then you cannot show it as discount on issue of shares. But instead, the other things are the same. See, bank account debtor and share capital is the same. But the discount amount, no, that will be taken from the forfeited shares account. Okay. So we had forfeited shares account credit balance. From that you can take this. This discount amount that you are allowing can be taken from forfeited shares account. So if you are, say, suppose shares of rupees 10 issued at rupees 8. That means 2 rupees is the discount. So you can show 8 towards bank, 2 rupees as discount because you are taking it from the forfeited shares account. And share capital rupees 10. And what is the balance? Suppose from the previous shareholder, if you have collected rupees 4, that will remain in the forfeited shares account and that can be taken by the company. And now if you are issuing at a discount, then 4 minus 2, that is the total amount collected minus discount if any given at the time of reissue. So 4 minus 2, 2 rupees, balance will be transferred to capital reserve because you no longer require that for reissue. If the reissue is complete, then you can pass this entry and transfer the forfeited shares balance to capital reserve. So these are the journal entries related with reissue. Now a question is given here, that is see, 1 lakh shares were issued, rupees 10. Stage monies are given like this: application 2, allotment 3, first call 2, final call 3. All the shares were applied for and money were duly received except the first and final call on 2000 shares. That means on 2000 shares out of 1 lakh shares, you didn't get this first call and final call. So these shares were forfeited by directors and reissued at rupees 8 per share. So at a discount they have issued. Let us see how this is to be done. That is bank account debtor to share application. That is 1 lakh shares you issued into 2 lakhs. Share application account debtor to share capital. The same amount is transferred to share capital account. Now allotment money is made due. That is 3 rupee on 1 lakh shares, 3 lakh shares. Now you got the entire amount. Allotment money, you don't have any default. The entire money is received. So bank account debtor to share allotment, the whole amount. Share first call money is 1 lakh into 2 lakhs. But you didn't get first call money on 2000 shares. So what is the calls in arrears? That is 2000 into 2. You didn't get, no. So what is the amount that you got? Bank account debtor to share first call 1,96,000. You can open calls in arrears account also here. So bank account debtor 1,96,000. You can debit calls in arrears 4,000 and close share first call account 2 lakhs. Or otherwise, you need not open calls in arrears. It will remain as share first call itself. Okay, balance is there. Share first call is 2 lakhs, but you cancelled only 1,96,000. So 4,000 will remain in the first call, no? So let it remain like that. We are not opening calls in arrears account here. So share final call, same way, 1 lakh into 3. You showed the amount. But again, for 2000 shares, you didn't get the final call money. So you calculated the calls in arrears, which is 2000 into 3. And 6,000 you have to deduct from 3 lakhs. That is how it is done. And now you are forfeiting the shares, no? So forfeiting 2000 shares because those shareholders didn't pay the money. So share capital account debtor to share first call. Share capital 2000 into 10. Share first call, all these calls in arrears which we have recorded at the time of first call and final call, 4,000 and 6,000. Forfeited shares account is the amount that you have collected. Only 5 rupees this person has given you. So 10,000. Reissue, bank account debtor to forfeited shares. 2 rupees you have given as discount. So 2,000 into 2 will come as forfeited shares account and only 8 rupees you collected. And the balance, that is forfeited shares 10,000 minus this 4,000 is 6,000. So that is transferred to capital reserve. That's all. That is how you do the problems. Thank you. and have a good day.